Hi, from Piero, Technical Director of SecPoint, introducing the new Penetrator firmware 42. In this firmware, we focused on some improvements in the scan process, especially on the visibility of the domain names and on the repeated scans. When we create a scan, the penetrator allows to enter a domain name instead of an IP address, but immediately after it converts the domain name into the corresponding IP address and the domain name is no longer visible. Starting with this firmware, the domain names are visible throughout the scan process, and this is available for scans, scan templates, scans created from a template, and is also available in the scan distribution page. Then the domain name is also visible on the reports. The next feature is the new detection of the IP address of a target system. When a scan is created through a domain name, the corresponding IP address is automatically detected at the moment of the scan. But when the scan is created from a template, a schedule, or repeated from a previous scan, the IP address must be detected again, because if the IP address is assigned through a DHCP server, the IP address may be different from the moment when the scan, template, or schedule have been created. A couple of new features are also available for the repeated scans. The first one is the possibility to alter the scan parameters of a previous scan. So now, for example, if we repeat a scan, we enter this page where we can change the scan profile or even change some parameters in the advanced page. The second feature is the possibility to repeat a scan on the nodes that were offline when the previous scan has been launched. The next feature is the detection of the operating system of the audited device. The operating system is detected through an algorithm, so it may not always be accurate 100%. The operating system is visible on the report. For example, in this scan, we can see that the penetrator could detect that for this target the operating system is Linux. One of the features that we have introduced with this firmware is the Google Authenticator. The Google Authenticator is an implementation of the two-factor authentication, which is a means of making account logins more secure. In fact, in addition to username and password, it requires a time-based one-time code that can only be generated by the legitimate owner by means of a hardware device. This feature is available through menu System 2FA Login Protection. To enable this option, you should first download the Google Authenticator app on your iOS or Android smartphone. When the app is installed, you should initialize it by scanning the QR code displayed in this page. After that, the Google Authenticator app will start generating numbers. It's important to note that the QR code is unique to each penetrator, therefore you can only use it to log in to one penetrator unit. Then to proceed, you need to do the code verification. You should type the number displayed on your smartphone in the entry field in this page. If you see the green check mark next to the code, it means that the code has been accepted. Here we are. This step is necessary to enable the two-factor authentication, since it cannot be enabled if the code generator is not in your hands or hasn't been correctly initialized. If the code verification is unsuccessful or hasn't been performed, the Google Authenticator option remains disabled and a warning message invites you to complete it. As you can see, in this case, we have a warning message and the option cannot be enabled. When you enter the right code, the Google Authenticator option can be enabled, and from this moment onwards, the Penetrator login page requires an additional field, which is the Google Authenticator code that can be read on your smartphone. If we log out, we can see that the login page will require the Google Authenticator code. If we omit this code, or if the code is not correct, the login is denied. Here we are. If we want to disable this option, we have to do the code verification once again. You have to remember that when this option is enabled, each time you want to log into your SecPoint Penetrator, you need to have your smartphone with you. In case of login problems, you need to contact the SecPoint support. Starting with this firmware, we are gradually replacing the old user interface with a new one. Along with that, most of the existing functions are subject to rewriting to comply with the new interface and for more robustness. These are the main features of this new interface. We have a totally different layout with different colors, a different top banner, tables, menu and widgets in different colors. Then we have a responsive design for a better experience on classic and on touchscreen devices. We have a larger window to display data and a different left side menu that can also be used on touchscreen devices. We have a user menu, then there is a collapsible right side panel with the overall status of your penetrator. Then we have different data tables with paging, filtering, sorting, and with some functions that can be applied on multiple items at once. Then we have tabs to display multiple data on the same page, and we also have different widgets. If you want to know more about this firmware, you can download the release notes document from our website. It contains the full description of all the enhancements of this firmware. It's all for now. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time. Bye bye.